Known as the Picasso of desserts, celebrity pastry chef Eric Lanlard is famous for starting a baking revolution in the UK. While his nickname, Cake Boy, has earned him a serious reputation as the preferred patissier of the glitterati. In 2000, he wowed Madonna and Guy Ritchie's wedding guests with a towering croquembouche filled with pastry cream and dipped in caramel. Other celebs who have tasted his creations include the Beckhams, Claudia Schiffer, Elizabeth Hurley, Elton John, George Michael, and the Queen. But it's not all just glitz and glamour, though. Eric runs a successful London-based cake boutique and has been recognised as a master baker, winning the coveted title of Continental Patissier of the Year twice at the British Baking Awards. And with his own television series and 7th cookbook launching, it seems success is a piece of cake for Eric Lanlard.
Oh, my man, we are going to taste it this morning. Mr. Eric Lanlard, give me a hug.
How are you? Nice to see you again.
Incredible, man. You know, Eric, the first time we met, we worked in quite a big show together, and I didn't realize at the time that you were starting a baking revolution. Looking back since the last time that we spoke to each other at where South Africa is, where the UK is with its baking, do you take ownership of that you have started this revolution?
Of course I do.
Good man.
The world has gone completely baking mad, and that includes South Africa. I mean, what a welcome. You know, we've been here 3 days, and it's gone crazy. I mean, we could have fit so much more into our schedules, but I need to sleep.
I don't lie. Don't lie. He says that he needs time to cook, and that's all we want you to do is bake for us today. Of course, you at Simmonsig Wine Estate, meeting some very, very lucky and happy espresso viewers apart from anything else. Chocolat is a beautiful book, and I understand it's just arrived in the country. How did the launch go?
It went very, very well. Textually, just arrived 2 days ago, so we almost have to break the container on a dock to make sure we had them for the Simmonsig event.
So this is very valuable, what I'm holding in my hand right here.
If you're lucky, maybe I will sign it for you.
It is so great to have you back in the country. I think we better get started.
Yes.
Before I start delving into what your year has been like so far, what are we making today?
We're making a gâteau moelleux. That's my best French so far. Best gâteau moelleux. I mean, very moist and soft chocolate cakes. Oh. So we're going to start by making the sponge.
Well, you can have a look at the end result there. I'm going to put this down before I get it dirty, because it's time to get our hands
And this
dirty.
is what baking is all about. It's about, impressing your friends and family when you come along. And this one is a showpiece. I mean, you look at that. If you're going to put that on top of the table, it's
a work of art.
You're going to get the wow factor. So I got some nice soft butter here. And good quality with these cakes is there is a lot going on. So soft butter, I'm going to add some custard sugar to it.
Nice and fine.
I like to precise this bin weight. So I'm not just opening the packet, I'm just putting it like that.
You ain't no cowboy, yeah.
Because we know that baking need to be very precise. So.
And I know, Eric, you often make it look like it's quite a cavalier thing, but the groundwork has to be there. You've got to know your basics before you start delving into it.
Absolutely. Yeah? So if you are a novice and you haven't baked before, always try to start with a basic recipe. Good pastry, good sponge. Go for the simple one to start with, and as you go along and you become more confident, you can go for it and go a bit more extravagant. So I'm going to break some eggs very quickly. We've got
very nice.
Whole eggs going in. Quite a lot of eggs. It's quite a big cake, so
we have a hungry crew. I don't think you've seen a response like you're going to get from our crew when this is eventually finished. Eric, I have to ask, it's the one question in my mind that is unrelated to the baking. When did you decide to go to space, my friend? You know how jealous you've made me.
Well, that's what's happened when when a salesperson takes you for dinner and far too much wine and far too much champagne is involved. And I did make it clear before we went to the dinner, I'm not going to sign it. I said, I haven't got the money, it's ridiculous, as exciting as it could be. And before the main course was served, my name was already on a piece of paper and a big check was signed. But you know what, it's going to be worth it. It's been 7 years in the making, and the anticipation is huge, but it looks like it's probably going to happen next year. So by the end of next year, I'll probably be a pastry chef / astronaut.
Astronaut. But really
great pickup line. Great pickup line.
Well, so let me know if it works. It'll be one of a handful of people who get to use it, but it kind of speaks about what you've been doing in the sense that you love breaking new ground, that you are the first to do a lot of things, bringing back old traditions, introducing new traditions. What's new in your life since the last time I spoke to you? How have you been, man?
Well, we're doing a lot of things, not just in the UK, but worldwide. You know, like I said, the baking revolution really took off. You know, you can see, and you can see here as well. You know, in South Africa, you know, everybody's baking obsessed, and I got so many friends on Twitter, on Facebook, and sharing their recipes. So, new book. TV shows as well. We've been filming 2 TV series since I'm here, and baking on board the cruise ships. I've been doing a big royal wedding in the Middle East recently. I just came back from that. The biggest cake in my life so far. So I'm happy to take the next challenge to take it further.
It's good that there are new challenges being introduced to your life, because I think you really have conquered so many of your crafts. Now, where do we stand with our cake?
Right, so I put the flour, the eggs are inside the flour. I'm doing a bit quicker because we need to be a bit fast on this one. So I got the flour, plain flour, got some cocoa powder, and we're adding some treacle.
Oh, look at that.
You know, that's like the sexy part of baking, you know, lovely sticky trickles.
Oh,
and of course, some melted chocolate. When you do a chocolate sponge, always look for recipe who include melted chocolate instead of just cocoa powder. You know, and for this one, because we want the full vavavoom, we are using both.
Don't skimp on any of the luxury.
Well, if you're going to go to all the trouble to bake and take your time to make complicated recipe, don't be cheap on the ingredients. So we're going to keep that aside, because...
All right.
And per magic, that's what it looked like.
Ta-ta!
Yeah. So always bake your sponge in 2 layers, in 2 skinny tins. So they cook much faster, and like that you get a very nice, soft sponge like this.
Oh, it looks delicious. Just quickly, before we go too far ahead, if you would like this ingredients list sent directly to your phone, Sasco is the keyword to 33728. SMS it. We'll send you the ingredients list. We'll also put you in the running for this Le Creuset beautiful kettle. What do you think?
I know,
That's
it's
nice,
beautiful.
Eh?
And it happened to be French.
I'm afraid, yeah, and it is one of the best. It does have a little French flair. Sadly, it's not in your goodie bag this morning, man.
Oh dear.
Sorry.
It's no star goodie bags.
You know, well,
right.
we can maybe do it.
So here I got some chocolate buttercream, more chocolate. So I'm just going to pipe that quickly on the edge of the cake.
And if you can ice this quickly, put it on YouTube and show us. Obviously, you're dealing with someone who does this on a very regular basis, but this is a simple way of making something that looks absolutely incredible.
Go. And we're going to put the other one on the top. Just going to slice it a little bit because it's a bit too deep.
Oh. Nice. So how long are you in SA for?
Here till Sunday.
My word.
Like I said, the diary is full, doing a food show in Cape Town, so that's going to be full on till Thursday. We're going to be demonstrating there and doing lot of wine tastings. And
Obligatory wine tasting in the cake.
For the top, I'm just going to smooth some lovely chocolate glossy ganache just for that special celebratory finish. And I like it hanging around a bit on the side just to make it
yeah, you've got to have a little bit of a rustic edge. It's got to look over the top.
And you need to look a bit homemade as well.
Yeah.
And we've got some nice berries here, which I'm going to cut with my big knife.
Do it.
Like this. And that's the good thing about the book, you know, it's all accessible. So if you never bake a cake in your life, you can start from this book. There's no issues, you know, you don't need complicated ingredients. It's got a lot of step-by-step, a lot of pictures as well, because people like to see pictures.
Well, your stuff visually, it has to be taken in with the eye as much as you have to consume the absolutely delicious makeups here. And I think you've been forced to, by the relationship you have on the social networks and the people that follow you. I think people were demanding a kind of cookbook like this, or a baking book, where we can also take part and we can join you in these beautiful little cooking adventures. Oh, that is
I don't know many
wonderful.
people who don't like chocolate, to be honest.
Not when you present it like this, my friend.
So here we go. You can use all seasonal berries as you go along. Be as creative as you want. And
oh man,
the final touch.
It's that keyword again, Sasco, to 33728, and we will send this ingredients list directly to your phone. Might even send you this Le Creuset, absolutely beautiful kettle.
There we go. If you put that on a table for your friend or family, I think you're going to get the wow factor, and they're going to become even better friends.
Oh, dude,
and they probably never invite you for dinner again.
Exactly, I know, that is amazing. Eric Lanlard down in Cape Town to release his beautiful book, Chocolat. You can have another look at that. Absolutely delicious. There we go. Hey? Oh, that is very nice. And that keyword Sasco to 33728, and we will send that ingredients list directly to your phone. Oh, Leanne and Kat, I'm hoping you are so jealous right now. This looks amazing.
Another delicious recipe brought to you by Sasco flour. Always soft and fluffy.